Today, we are going to check out space robots that are truly remarkable. Stay till the end to see our favorite robot and what it can do. Let's dive right in. Number 7. Sputnik 1. Sputnik 1 was the first robot ever sent to space, launched in an elliptical, low-Earth orbit on October 4, 1957, as part of the Soviet space program. It completed each orbit in 96.20 minutes, while traveling at a top speed of roughly 18,000 miles per hour. Sputnik 1 used frequencies of 20 and 40 MHz, which were listened to by radio operators all around the world. Up until the transmitter batteries ran out on October 26, 1957, the signals lasted for 21 days. Sputnik 1 remained in orbit for another 3 months, before burning up on the 4th of January, 1958, while re-entering Earth's atmosphere. It completed 1,440 orbits of the Earth, covering a distance of almost 70 million kilometers. It was a 23-inch diameter polished metal sphere with 4 external radio antennae for transmitting radio pulses. Engineers progressively started building robots to be dispatched to extraterrestrial planets after the launch of Sputnik 1 for a variety of goals, from close-up planet photography to determining whether other planets maintain life. It all started with Sputnik. Number 6. Dextre. Dextre is a space robot designed to help with International Space Station maintenance. The robot takes on the difficult or repetitive tasks that must be completed in the hostile environment of space. Instead of perilous spacewalks, astronauts may spend more time conducting research thanks to the station's robotic handyman. The robot performs a variety of activities, including installing and replacing small equipment, such as outside cameras and the 100-kilogram batteries used on the space station. It is also capable of replacing damaged electrical system components. The 7 joints in each of Dextre's 7 arms have the ability to rotate, move up and down, side to side, and in other directions. The robot has a human-like sense of touch, and each hand has a retractable, motorized wrench, a camera and lights for close-up viewing, and a retractable connector to provide power, data, and video connection. Dextre has the strength to deal with large gears, yet is also capable of handling small parts. The robotic handyman successfully manipulated tiny safety caps, cables, and wires with extreme precision while being controlled from Earth hundreds of kilometers away during a mission to refuel a dummy satellite. Number 5. Curiosity. Curiosity is the most famous of the Mars rovers. The robot, which was initially commissioned for a 2-year period, landed on Mars on August 6, 2012, and is still actively serving. After only 6 months since landing, NASA decided to continue this project indefinitely. Curiosity was created to investigate whether there has ever been an environment on Mars that is conducive to life. It carries the largest, most advanced suite of scientific instruments ever sent to the surface of Mars. These instruments have the ability to collect rock samples, examine their structure and formation, and communicate the information back to Earth. The robot is the longest and heaviest rover on Mars, measuring about 10 feet long and weighing about 2,000 pounds. Curiosity, unlike earlier rovers, did not use airbags to cushion its landing. Instead, due to its size, it was lowered to the surface using 3 tethers from the spacecraft's body, known as the Sky Crane. You know what's the coolest thing about Curiosity? It carries a nuclear power source that can keep it running for years. Number 4. Athlete. Athlete, or known as All-Terrain Hex-Legged Extraterrestrial Explorer, is a robotic vehicle that can roll over and walk across the kinds of terrain seen on the Moon, Mars, and other extraterrestrial planets. Its primary functions are to transport and deposit payloads for manned and robotic missions. The first iteration of Athlete can dock with refueling stations, while future generations will be able to link even more spacecraft, move 100 times faster than the Mars exploration rovers, and traverse practically any terrain, including vertical rock walls. The 48 stereo cameras aboard the Athlete Moon rover broadcast 3D video from its limbs, frame, and wheels to human operators on Earth or the Moon, enabling them to scan the area for dangers and control equipment. The robot's 6 legs give it more mobility than existing robotic systems, allowing it to climb slopes of up to 35 degrees on solid terrain and 25 degrees on soft surfaces. Heavy-duty space trucks are required to construct and supply a lunar base, but there's one issue: there are no roads. This is why NASA engineers built the rover they call Athlete, to manage any terrain, whether sandy, rocky, or cratery. Number 3. Dawn. Even though it resembles a huge space dragonfly, it has outstanding robotic abilities because of its 4 spectrometers and ion propulsion system, which allow it to orbit 2 extraterrestrial bodies. NASA launched this spacecraft in September 2007 with the goal of examining Vesta and Ceres, 2 of the 3 known protoplanets in the asteroid belt. After the operation was successfully completed, NASA said that the probe's 9-year mission would be extended until its hydrazine fuel supply ran out. On November 1, 2018, NASA announced that Dawn had depleted its hydrazine and the mission had to be terminated. It is now operating between Mars and Jupiter in the asteroid belt. Italian, German, French, and Dutch partners provided spacecraft components for the Dawn project, which was overseen by NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory. Its use of ion propulsion, which allowed it to enter and exit the orbits of 2 celestial planets, made it the first NASA exploratory mission to do so. Prior multi-target missions using chemical engine-powered rockets, like the Voyager program, were only allowed to conduct flybys. Number 2. Ingenuity. Ingenuity is fascinating because it is the first vehicle to fly on another planet. On February 18, 2021, this tiny little helicopter and the Perseverance rover, connected to its underside, were launched toward Mars. Ingenuity is a small machine, and since the gravity on Mars is weaker than on Earth, it weighs even less there. The helicopter was designed to carry out a 30-day technological demonstration, performing 5 flights at heights between 10 and 16 feet for up to 90 seconds each, but the predicted lateral range and flight length were exceeded on the 3rd and 4th flights respectively. The flights demonstrated the helicopter's capability to fly on Mars, more than 100 million miles from Earth, in its incredibly thin atmosphere without direct human control. Ingenuity functions independently, carrying out movements that have been planned, scripted, and delivered to it because radio communications take 5 to 20 minutes to get between Earth and Mars. Ingenuity can only fly for 90 seconds at a time and uses solar panels to recharge during the day to fly again the next day. As of its 41st flight, on January 27, 2023, the helicopter had remained flightworthy for 648 days after its first flight. The 25th flight, which occurred on April 8, 2022, set new records for the highest speed and distance traveled. Number 1. Robonaut. For astronauts, space is a perilous environment, especially when they have to perform spacewalks to maintain or repair their spacecraft or a satellite. This is where Robonaut, our favorite space robot, steps in to help make space safer for astronauts, while also taking over some of the tedious or challenging tasks they perform. The original model has recently been updated with 2 legs, stronger CPUs, and more sophisticated sensors. The so-called Robonaut 2 may even be used in telemedicine, under the control of physicians on Earth, to treat astronauts on the ISS who are unwell or injured. Houston is already training a Robonaut 2 version to carry out medical procedures, like using a syringe and running an ultrasound imaging test. At the space station, Robonaut 2 is still being tested on straightforward tasks, and is still getting adjusted to its new set of legs. Once it has mastered them, it will be used for simple maintenance tasks on the ISS, like cleaning railings, until it's ready for its first spacewalk. Additionally, NASA is working on ways to enable Robonaut 2 to visit other planets or moons. One idea is to attach the upper body of Robonaut 2 to a rover that can travel across planetary surfaces. What other space robots do you know about? Let us know in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button. We recommend our video on the incredible robots you won't believe exist next. See you there.